In this video, we're going to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about because it's Wednesday night and it's the subscriber hangout.
YouTube Simplified.
Hi and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Courier and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out on the live stream. We have a good crowd tonight. A lot of people got here early. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with all of you and see what's going on with your channels and see what we can talk about tonight. There's been a lot of changes, some updates with live streaming, and all kinds of good stuff to talk about. Interested in hearing how your channels are doing, if you're having any struggles, if you have any questions that hopefully I can try to provide some feedback on. So we're going to jump in the chat, say hello to everybody, and see how we're doing here on this fine Wednesday evening. All right, taking a look at the chat, we have Kevin Boston. Hello to you too. I see Awesome Mark, Iron Gordon, GB, a coffee free to share music. Thanks for joining the stream. Happy TV, Rodney B. Hunt, Yakking with Sarah, Doug Hewson, the moderator, the super moderator in the house. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. JD Archer, teacher Prashant Dubey for mathematics. Let's jump all the way to the top of the chat and see who we have. Weedman32 coming in as the first person nice and early to the live stream. I appreciate you hopping in there early. P. Nitty is also here. So excited. Glad you do these hangouts, Dan. They've helped my channel so much. I appreciate you saying that. Square One BTS, good evening to you as well. Rocket Scientist. Diaphidelia Halton? Diaphidelia? I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. Dirty Lazy Keto. Grutho. Ravage Land Productions. Iconic Cypher. Mad Gonzilla. Supreme Badger. Havoc Swift. Awesome Mark. Glad to see everybody in the live stream tonight, and hopefully we can have a interesting conversation about YouTube and your channels, and hopefully YouTube has been treating you well since our last live stream. Going to try to scroll down the best I can and not miss any of the chat here real quick. Harley also is in the chat. Thank you very much, Harley, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Fire Desire Entertainment. We have Gus Alivizados. Claw Couple SG Vlogs. Hello to you. Good to see that Diaphidelia was able to get to the Facebook group. That's awesome to hear. Cool Dude 447. Hello to you as well. Swagnick Duda. Jody Plamer. Who else we have? Is it Ving Savage? Gonna look, scrolling. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Mr. Z's reaction to reviews. Good to see you as well. Painkiller X. Iron Gordon. Think we got you the first swing by. Scrolling. I think we're almost caught up. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, and then we just shot all the way down to the bottom. All right. So how is everything going with you and your YouTube channels tonight? February. It's the last day of February. Was it a good month for you? Hopefully it was. Obviously, some of us ran into demonetization on February 20th, and now we're kind of settling into life after that process. I had my other channel, which is The Average Dan. The Average Dan was one of the channels that was, in fact, demonetized. So it's around like 922 subscribers. So if you're into RV camping, definitely check out the link I just put in the chat. That's probably going to pick up a lot of pace as we get into spring, and my family and I will be doing some videos with our camper during camping season and trying to cover all things outdoors and RV camping. So that should be fun. Doug Houston says March is looking good here in the future. Fire Desire Entertainment. Yeah, I got lots of monetizing videos. I met the threshold and having to wait over 2 weeks. You know, I get a lot of comments on my videos about people who say they met the threshold, but they've been waiting for months. So I'm not sure if there's people still have confusion between the original review with the 10,000 views and the new requirements. But I find it surprising that people waited till 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to request their review back in November. So I still think there's a little bit of confusion out there about that particular process. Rodney B. Hunt, your RV channel should hit it soon. I hope so, man. It doesn't quite have the momentum as this channel because I don't or haven't been posting a ton of videos here in 2018. You know, which is certainly a violation of my rules, but I've been posting all my videos here in Creator Fundamentals. So trying to get this channel up and running and growing it to help as many new and small YouTubers as possible grow their channels and simplify YouTube so we can all grow together. Comics with Bueller just wanted to ask, what are realistic expectations for a new channel? The best thing to do with a new channel is to not worry about expectations and focus on making and improving content. I would say if you're going to start a new channel and you're serious about actually turning it into something that could be financially supportive of you, I would say focus in on at least 12 months and call it 100 videos. So commit to saying that, looking at that long-term goal and saying, I'm going to commit to 100 videos. I'm going to try to improve a little bit each time with each video. I'm not going to get hung up on perfection to the point where I'm not posting videos. It's better to post a good video than to dwell over the fact that it's not perfect, because then you end up not producing anything. You want to improve each time you upload a video. And if you do that over the course of 100 videos or 12 months, you'll probably have a pretty decent channel on your hands. Trying to make more content, but our jobs is making it hard. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough with working full-time. Personally, I have a full-time career outside of YouTube. I also have a wife and 2 kids and 3 dogs. So I have basically grown this channel between the hours of 9 p.m. and call it 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning over the course. Now we're about at 8 months. 8 months, and we're closing in on 7,000 subscribers. I believe there's like 125 videos. Let's see if I can, I'm not sure what the exact video count is here, but let me take a peek and see where we're at video count wise. Videos. How many videos has created? So I have 128 videos. And I started in June 15th, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So we're at 7.5 months. 7.5 months working weeknights between 9 p.m. and 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. 128 videos. And we are sitting at 7,000 subs. We're not quite to 7,000. We're closing in, but I don't think we're not quite there yet. 6,864 subscribers. Alex Fishing, full-time job, the family, etc. Just excuses. Yeah, I mean, well, everybody's situation is different, so you don't want to minimize exactly what somebody has going on, but it's just all about priorities. It's, you know, trying to find a schedule that works for you, trying to be consistent in it, and trying to, you know, commit the time necessary to grow something. I personally don't believe the hype that a lot of kind of gurus or people who are self-appointed entrepreneurs try to say, where you have to quit your job and give it 150% and put in 80 hours a week. I honestly think that if you're focused and you come up with a valid plan, that you can achieve success without sacrificing absolutely everything else. So that said, you do have to commit some time and you do have to be consistent. Consistency is much more important than you know, 150%, because what tends to happen is people try to jump into things at 150%, and they burn out. So I would rather see it at 80% for a year than 150% for a month, because 150% after that first month, you're going to burn yourself out. You're going to quit. You're not going to find the motivation, because you're not going to see the results that quick on YouTube. So you really need to have that long-term perspective in order to succeed and not get discouraged to the point of quitting. Mike Hawk, do streams count as uploads? Absolutely, they count as uploads. Each stream is considered a video. It also adds to your views and your watch time. And once you build an audience, live streams will typically give you a lot more watch time than a typical video. So in that regard, they're very powerful and beneficial to growing your channel. They also give opportunities like these where you actually get to interact with your audience, and the audience gets to interact with the creator. So it's a great way to build your community and, you know, not just be a face on a video once a week or whatever the case is. So, and then when we build a nice size audience, we get to have fun live streams like these where we're just hanging out and sharing thoughts and asking questions and hopefully answering questions. And later on, maybe we'll look at some channels. I post great videos. Please, I try my best. You won't regret it. I'm not sure who that was to. Next level, if you meet requirements, can you monetize your channel then? Absolutely. You're not required. The 20th, February 20th was just the deadline for people who are already monetized not to lose monetization by meeting those goals. Once you meet those goals at any point after that time frame, you can request monetization. And I actually just put out a video the other day about what to do before that process, which basically has you request your review before you meet the goals. That way, when you meet the goals, you immediately go into review, and it's not something you're going to forget about for a week or a month and have it sitting there not doing anything. So I definitely recommend you check out that video and go through the process of requesting monetization before you actually hit the goals. And what it'll do on that monetization screen is it'll show you, once you request that, it'll show you exactly where you are in watch hours and subscribers and how many you have to go. Nate Dogg, hey to you too as well. In Dolly's Tube, so glad I found this support. Well, we're glad to have you. Definitely join the Facebook group. There's a link in the description below, because apparently the one I tried to share in the chat may or may not be working. But that's also a great way to interact with other YouTubers who are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, and create that kind of support structure that can really help you grow your channel and learn the tricks of the trade and the best practices and all that good stuff. So I highly recommend getting in on the Facebook group. And real quick, guys, I just want to remind everybody that this video and all the videos here on Creator Fundamentals are sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and there's a link in the description below. And even better, if you have iOS, TubeBuddy just came out with the iOS app. So if you have an iPhone, you can download that app and you can do things like keyword research and check out the statistics of your videos right in the app on your phone. Android is coming out soon, so you guys won't be too far behind, but it's definitely something that I highly recommend you guys follow the link in the description below and get that set up and get familiar with it. And it's just really cool to try. The app itself is free to download and use, and there is an unlimited version which lets you get deeper into some of the features, which you automatically get for free if you use any of the paid tiers of TubeBuddy. But the basic TubeBuddy is free to use and install, so definitely give that a try if you're not using it. Honestly, and I mean this in all sincerity, I don't know how I was doing YouTube without it, because I use it for every single video that I upload, and it's just super valuable in streamlining your process, making it more efficient and easy to do this whole YouTube thing. So definitely something worth checking out. All right, make Make sure I don't miss anybody. Try to get to my cock. Do streams. Count it. Yeah, we got that. I'm over 300 videos so far. Maybe I should quit while I'm behind. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Yeah, full-time work is definitely a challenge, but it is possible. Scrolling, scrolling. I hate how the chat jumps to the end. I'm simply trying to scroll down and see every comment, and it gets to a certain point, and then it just jumps all the way to the end. Let me try this because it's kicking my butt. Scrolling. All right, I see one reference there. Teacher Prashant, I have a question for a long time, and that is what concludes to high watch time in relation to low sub count. Hope I could get an answer today. Could you please help me? So if you have, Creator Fundamental, or my other channel, The Average Dan, is an example of a channel that gets a lot of watch time but not a lot of subscribers, and that's for a couple different reasons. If you have a channel that is really high on how-to content, that's really focused on like an individual video that shows somebody how to do a specific thing, then a lot of times those videos don't necessarily convert to subscribers. One of the things you can do going forward, and I see that super chat and I appreciate it, and I'll make sure I get to that here in just a second. I don't want to make you think that I didn't see it, but I did, and we'll take a look at that in 2 seconds. So the thing about low subscribers, and a lot of times when we do those how-to videos, maybe we didn't ask people for that subscription. So that's something to consider. So maybe you're not asking for the viewer to subscribe at all. Maybe you're waiting until the end of the video and the people don't get to the end of the video. So you definitely want to consider ways to actively ask for those subscriptions, because they may have watched your video, they may have found it helpful. Depending on what you're teaching them, they may just get the content they need and go on their, go on with their day. So you want to maybe work in somewhere earlier in your videos to actually say, hey, if you found this video helpful, if you were informed by it, or it helped you solve a problem, or whatever case, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell so you receive future videos that could help you on X, Y, and Z. So I definitely understand the way that those channels form. And again, like I said, The Average Dan is a perfect example of that. It has 600,000-700,000 watch hours, but it was struggling to get to 1,000 subscribers. So there are definitely ways you can implement on your videos going forward to actively engage your audience and ask them for that subscription, and let them know that it helps the channel and what they are getting by doing that. So that's what I say about that. I definitely know a lot of how-to channels can be like that, where they're simply giving nuggets of information and people are grabbing them and going. But you need to work in that strategy of trying to grow your community by actually interacting with them. Another way you can do it is, if you're just doing a how-to, try to pose questions to your audience to engage them and get them to not just get the content and leave, but maybe jump down in the comments and start conversations that can also help you build community and that interaction and help grow your subscriber base. Weedman, who created demonetized? I'm not sure what that means. Demonetization was obviously implemented as a way to protect advertisers on YouTube from content that may not be suitable for those brands. And when that's where the money's coming from, you definitely want to make sure that they're taken care of. Weird City Citizen, hello. Scrolling. Tips on making a schedule for creating content. One of the things that people do that can be very effective if you're struggling with time is to batch create videos. I've heard from a lot, this isn't something I personally do because with the wife or with the family and my other obligations, having long chunks of time doesn't really happen too often. But people who maybe have a Saturday, they'll batch create videos. So they'll come up with 2 or 3 video ideas, and they'll set the camera up and they'll record all the raw footage on one day. The next day, they'll edit all that video or all that content. And then maybe the next couple days, they'll grab all that edited content for one video, upload it, and set up all your metadata, and then the next day do the next one. And then depending on your schedule, you can schedule each one of those videos maybe to release once a week or whatever your schedule happens to be. But you can batch create content and basically take care of multiple videos in like a single sitting. So that way it kind of minimizes the width of the work, or how much work you're doing over the course of the week, where you can squeeze it all into one day, still get a week's worth of content, or maybe a couple weeks of content, and that it gives you all that time. So just real quick, I want to jump in here. Dirty Lazy Keto with Yolanda. Can you check out my channel? I have been following your tips. Tips, not chips. That now I'm hungry. All right, need to know where I can improve. Absolutely. I'm going to make a note here. So I have something new that I want to, oh, where'd you go? Scrolling. I'll find you. Hang on here. Where'd it go? Must be down there. And I see a lot of people tagging me, and I will try to get to all of you. Okay, grab that. Give me 2 seconds. Definitely take a look. All right. Scrolling. See who I missed here. Kevin Boston, any ideas why people are not responding to my calls to action? Well, my first question will be, when in your video are you posing your call to action? A lot of times, in a very generalized state, maybe people watch half a video. So if your call to action is too deep into your video, it's possible that a lot of them aren't seeing it. Not everybody is going to respond to your call of action, but the biggest thing about a call to action is delivering some type of value, and then on the call to action basically saying, hey, if I delivered this value, consider subscribing. They'll be much more apt to click that subscribe button in a way of showing their support or appreciation for the value that you gave them. Crispy Crazy Card, hello to you too. How many uploads a week is really best? I do work 40 hours a week, full-time student, wife, and puppy mother. I would say however many videos a week that you can realistically fit into your week and be able to reproduce on a weekly basis. There is no exact answer. There's definitely, there are strategies that suggest 3 videos a week, and the logic behind that is typically when you post a video, you tend to get a boost for a couple days. So when you're posting 3 videos a week, you're basically getting a boost, and before that boost ends, you're posting another video, which kind of stacks on the previous boost, and then you do it again, with the idea that you're kind of stacking that activity up until the point that your channel kind of hits that next plateau of views and baseline to help your channel grow that way. But there's definitely channels that grow with a video a week, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you start out doing 3 videos a week and maybe you last a month and then you burn out and you can't. So to that end, I would say whatever is feasible for your schedule, that's what you should try to do, and then just temper your expectations that if you're only able to do one a week, maybe you won't grow as fast as somebody who does 3, and that's okay. But that lends itself to, don't compare yourself to other channels anyway, because that's just a painful process that'll never make you feel good about yourself. So the comparison game will always hurt. You'll always find a way, or it will always find a way to be discouraging for you. So you're better off coming up with your own schedule, not worrying about what everybody else is doing, and then just putting your head down and focusing on making content and improving over time. All right, another super chat. I do appreciate the super chats. Mr. Z's reaction to reviews. Failing channel needs help. Wondering what the meaning of my YouTube life. Check me out. I will add you to the list. All right, put that there. Appreciate that, and we'll definitely give your channel a look here in a minute. Ideas. All right, just getting started, learning all I can. Scrolling. TubeBuddy mobile app accept. Crispy Crazy Card, does TubeBuddy mobile app accept free accounts as well? Yes, absolutely. You can definitely download the mobile app and use it with a free account. There's certain things like so when you're getting like keyword research, the number of results it gives you, I think, is limited. But you can also, if you have if you don't have one of the paid accounts on TubeBuddy, you can actually pay, I think, through the app itself. You can pay $2.99 one time and get the app for life with its full TubeBuddy Unlimited. You know what? Let me see. Where do I have that? Give me 1 second here. And I'm going to give you guys a link. 2 seconds. This is TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy Mobile. Just threw you guys a link out there. Definitely download the mobile app if you have iOS. Like I said, the Android app is in the works and should be here relatively soon. All right, love TubeBuddy. It's helped me tons. Download the app last night. It's awesome. Yeah, definitely cool. Thank you. My channel moved up from 280 to 1,203 with your help. Awesome, BizHacks. That's fantastic to hear. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is the things that work on YouTube. They're just observations and application. It's not about being some mastermind scientist. It's just about learning what actually works and, you know, boiling them down into best practices and then implementing them. It's not rocket science. It does work, and you just have to be willing to collect that information, go out and do the research, watch the videos, and then apply it on your channel, and you'll be amazed how much it can actually improve your channel. Yeah, most of the things I mentioned, there are links. There's a number of different links in the description of this video or live stream, so you should definitely be able to find them there. If there's something you're looking for that I haven't put a link in the description for, just let me know in the chat. Mike Hawk really improved my thumbnails and tags in my videos. I've been getting to tops of the searches, but I just can't seem to get sub count up. Any tips? I mean, yeah, it's all relative in terms of is your sub count growing at all? Prior to some big hit videos on my channel, I was getting a couple a day. You know, it started out maybe 1 subscriber a day, and then it slowly over time became 2 subscribers a day, then 3 and 4, and went that way for quite a while. So, I mean, if you're getting a subscriber or 2 a day, then you're definitely heading in the right direction in the beginning. It does take a while to build up that momentum and actually get, you know, get that ball rolling. And you don't want to get discouraged if you don't see a ton of feedback in terms of growth. Just know that all the work that you're putting in now is that delayed reward. You will be rewarded for it in the future. Randy Osberger, 40 subs. I'm on the way. Absolutely. Awesome. Celebrate all your milestones. Congrats on reaching 40. All right. And lots of videos, dance shows, performing. Are there any music producers who would like to collaborate? So in things like that, definitely join small YouTube communities. Again, there's a link in the description below for the Creator Fundamentals Facebook group. You can also join groups. There's one called Small YouTuber Community. It's another good group you can join to interact with other YouTubers. That's where you start to build those relationships and find those collaboration opportunities. Is it possible to get 10,000 subscribers in 1 month? Yes, absolutely it is. Probably not for a brand new channel, but I know channels that get 10,000 subscribers a month and more. I mean, just for some perspective, in terms of the whole delayed reward model here on YouTube, in December, let me show you something or tell you something here, just to give. You never really know exactly when it'll hit you, but you better be prepared when it does. All right. Let's see if I can find it here. Detailed. So on January 14th, I was getting between, well, on January 14th, I got 8 subs that day. Prior to that, I was averaging 5 or 6 subscribers a day. On January 16th, I received 491 subscribers in a single day. And that was one of the videos that I posted that took off and kind of started the growth that I've been seeing on my channel. So at that range, I was probably, do the math, 8 times 30, even though I know it wasn't quite that high on a daily basis. I think I was at 102. I was averaging about 120 subscribers in the last 30 days. That's where I was in January. We're not to the end of February yet. My subscriber count for the last 30 days now is 4,311. And that's all about I mean, this channel started at 0 on June 15th. And it wasn't because I had some secret formula. I just did all the things that I share with all of you on this channel, and I did them repeatedly over time for 7 months and 100 videos, and then things started to happen. It really comes down to being able to commit for that long term, understanding that that reward will come in the future. Now, I can't guarantee that everybody's channel is going to respond quite the way this one did, but it just goes to show you how quickly things can change. I've heard Daryl Eves say it a bunch of times that a channel can change on one video, and that's really the case. You never know when it's going to be that one video that really propels your channel to a new level. But it is all about the idea that success is where preparation, making all those videos and you know, applying best practices, meets the opportunity of a video that pops. And when you have all those things in place and you have good branding and your thumbnail art and your channel art all meshed together, and they provide a professional looking image that tells people what you do and why they should care, meets that opportunity of such a rapid increase in your audience, and people respond by saying, hey, this looks pretty good, I would like more of this, great things can happen. That's really where the magic starts to happen, and you know, your channel can change overnight. Scrolling. Rodney B. Hunt, the average Dan channel is only 75 away from 1,000. Awesome. If you guys enjoy RV camping, definitely check out the link to my other channel, The Average Dan, which I just posted in there. Like I said, it has a bunch of camping related. We did a camper. We bought a 1984 travel trailer, and we gutted it and renovated it, and there's like a 7-video series that we did on there that was pretty popular, and that's a pretty good watch. We just bought a new camper that we're going to take out this spring and summer, so we're hoping to add a bunch of content in and around that. And then there's also a lot of repair type videos and things on there as well that are some of my older content, but definitely want to focus on that RV camping experience and just the outdoors in general. and hopefully have a lot of fun this summer. Still trying to get through the bottom here. Kevin Boston, I want to get 1K subscribers by July. Yeah, it's good to have goals in that regard. Scrolling. Dominating Impulse, thanks for joining the stream. Awesome, Mike Hawk, I love your videos. They've helped me improve quality of my channel and really motivate me. Awesome to hear. Advice on channel, brand. Thanks for answering. Yeah, batching videos on the weekend is the way to go. How do you get your live streams to look cool like this one? Well, depending on which part of it you think is cool, this live stream is done in OBS. OBS Studio, I've done 3 videos on OBS Studio, how to go out and download it and install it, how to set it up for your first live stream, and then how to set up these things which are called scenes within OBS that allow you to do the transitions and things, you know, like when I do, you know, when I bring this guy.
YouTube Simplified.
And some of the other things that we do. There's a video that covers the scenes and how to do those transitions and whatnot. But this particular one is done in the graphics I just did in GIMP, which is like a free version of Photoshop. And I literally took the graphic that I use as my background for my thumbnails and my channel art. And I edited a little bit, cut a hole out for the video, and I overlaid that over my webcam feed, which is a Logitech C920. There's a link to that in the description below as well, and that's come down, I think they're up to like the C922, so the C920, the one that I'm actually streaming with now, is only like 50 bucks. So that's a pretty good deal, because I think when I bought it, it was around 100. So, and then everything else are just graphic elements that I included. My logo, which I did in GIMP as well, and then scrolling marquee, which is an option in OBS, and then just kind of put all those things together and try to make them look nice and go from there. Killer Game, I removed the branding intro from my videos because people were leaving the video while it was playing. They were short, but I guess it was too much. So one of the things that I did wrong when I first started YouTube with the Average Dan is I started my videos with an intro. Back then, a couple of years, it was like 2015 or whatever, it was all about going out and getting a professional intro and outro. And people were throwing them at the beginning and ending of your videos. It's a lot more effective, though, if you cold open your video and you basically make a statement to the value that you intend to deliver through the video. You know, rather than starting a video and watching a 60-second animation of my logo, I try to get to the point in the first 10 seconds and tell you exactly what it is I plan on delivering to you and why it's valuable. And if you have properly titled your video and your thumbnail, and you've created your thumbnail in such a way that that stuff matches that value that you state you're going to deliver in the beginning, then people should hang around. Once you've hooked them with that 10-second piece in the beginning, then you have an opportunity to throw your logo or branding at them real quick. And when I say quick, I would say a few seconds, 5 seconds. I wouldn't throw out a 30-second intro or animation. It's just not necessary, and you could cause people to leave that way. And then once you do that, you kick into your actual content and you deliver that value that you stated you were going to in the very beginning. Oh crap, where'd it go? I was just trying to read something from, where'd it go? I was trying to read Rodney's comment and then it jumped. Let's see where you at here. Rodney, I'll find it. I don't know where it went. just saw you. Definitely have to come up with ways to... Oh, it's this silly top chat thing. YouTube thinks it's helping you with that. Okay. It would be awesome if you could filter your chats by an individual. Like to be able to click on the 3 dots next to somebody and show only their comments. That would be a cool feature. And that is something that I should request, because that would be really cool. Then it'd be a lot easier to find somebody. And go up here a little bit and see if I can find it. Didn't think it was that far back, but apparently it is. Alright, well, I've gone back as far as I can. Oh well. Comics, let's see. Direct message feature in YouTube is a little hidden. Looking for questions. I should also be able to highlight questions. I can't imagine if you've ever gone on like Marcus Brownlee's live stream, the chat moves so fast. I don't know how anybody even has a conversation, because it's literally, it seems like it's 100 comments a second. It's so hard to read. So I find it a challenge here with 60 people on the chat. I can only imagine what it's like for the people who get hundreds of thousands. Gamer Creep 123, hello to you too. Let's see. Try to scroll back because I know I just missed a big chunk of everybody's messages. Hook and Bass 92. Does TubeBuddy work? Absolutely, TubeBuddy works. And you should definitely check it out. Who do you think is more well-known, Sonic the Hedgehog versus or Mr. Krabs? That depends which generation. Of course, I feel like did they bring Sonic back? Because I feel like my kids know about Sonic. And of course they know about Mr. Krabs. Let's see, scrolling. Sorry, Kevin. Dan, you just rolled your intro and scared me and nearly gave me a heart attack. I wasn't expecting it. Was it a little loud? It's a little abrupt. Depending on how, sometimes when I record my actual videos, if my audio comes out a little low, I actually go into that bumper video, which is my logo, and I lower the sound on it, because it's a very it can be a heart check, like apparently it was for Kevin, because it does tend to be a little bit louder than everything else. Scrolling back. If anybody had questions that I haven't answered yet, definitely restate them, because I think it won't let me go back all the way. 21090 Brewing, how important is it to search for other creators in your niche and sub and interact with them in hopes they return the favor? Okay, never sub anybody with the hopes that they will return the favor. That is the absolute wrong way to go about interacting with others. What you should really do is not look for... So the best way to get to have good things happen to you in the YouTube community is not to go out into the YouTube community and try to get stuff. And I know that seems counterintuitive, but trust me, if you go out and you join communities, you know, it looks like you're doing something relating to brewing. If you join brewing forums and you just start interacting and sharing what you know and supporting other people's posts, and then you join YouTuber groups and you interact with them, share what you know, or comment on what other people are doing, you will naturally build relationships that will help your channel down the road. But, you know, maybe those relationships will help you do a collaboration with another channel, which can help you grow your channel. But never, ever give something to get something. That will always fail you because it's almost always transparent. You know, all the people that come in here and say they want to support each other, they don't want to support each other. They want subscribers. So they're basically saying, I'll sub you if you sub me. And that never helps any channels. In fact, it actually hurts your channels. It's a violation of YouTube services. And you don't, if somebody's subbing to your channel just because you sub them, then you're going to get no engagement from them. And a non-active sub is completely useless and doesn't help your channel in any way. DJ Scrap and Rooster working on all that, Dan. Thank you. Good to see you in the live stream again. Black Artist, hello to you. Haven't been active on YouTube. Been streaming. It's like twice a day. Had one video. Hit 4,500 views out of nowhere, more than typically get. Yeah, it's always nice when one of those videos kind of finds an audience bigger than normal. Riding behind, they should use slow, even the ones that use slow mode, because slow mode stops an individual, I believe, from multiple posts. But when you have 500,000 people posting once every minute, it still gets pretty crazy in there. Brandon and Trish, thanks. We are just getting started. Good for you. Definitely a ton of opportunity here on YouTube. You can just scroll up if you have a locked up nearby. Not sure. Lady to Winner, thank you for the wonderful advice. I did what you said, and I think it looks great. Awesome. Good to hear. Good to see you in the stream again. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, 3:30 once again in your neck of the woods. I appreciate you coming and checking out the stream again. Geez, I hope you don't normally get up this early to go to work. Sounds like an early morning. Your page jumps from 50 watching to 400 watching. Title body of page switches from YouTube to TubeBuddy to random other channels for days now. Your page jumps from 50 watching to 400 watching. Title body of page switches from YouTube to TubeBuddy to random other page. I'm not sure what that means. You're going to have to elaborate on that other stuff by Bob. I'm not sure what all that means. How's the volume for everybody else? Anybody think the volume is low? Oh, I could probably fix that. Let's see here. Oh, you know why? I believe here. Let me know if that is better, and I can also do this. It's always trying to find that right balance so you're not bleeding a bunch of background buzz into it. Let me know how that audio sounds. Radio Don just walked in. Any idea when TubeBuddy will be available for Android? I do have an idea, but not an official idea. They haven't stated specifically, but I would think it'd be reasonable within the next couple months, probably. Iron Gordon, do you have a recommended day and time to post? Ideally, you want to post when your audience is available. That's probably a good idea in terms of trying to get your view velocity. a time when they may be awake and available and able to check out your video when your alerts go out. So 21090 Brewing, one of the things you can do in terms of trying to interact with other channels, and something that I've seen some channels have success with, is you go to much larger channels in your niche and you actively participate in their video comments and try to contribute value and provide something of substance. And I've seen that work for people who, by doing that, have received interaction from other people who are checking out the video. So that's something to consider. What would you recommend for a live streamer who streams 4 days a week and uploads like a 5-minute video once a week? I don't know what I would recommend just based on that information. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, I get up every morning at 2:30 to start. Wow. That is a very early day, and you get up quite early. Is it a long commute, or do you just like a lot of lead time before you leave the house? All right. JD Archer, after 1.5 years in the book niche, I have made great relationships with others and will be starting some collabs this year in live streams. Awesome to hear. And that is absolutely the way to do it. Corbin Connection Comedy. You can say hi to me. I don't bite. Well, that's good to know. Hello to you. MTG Unpacked, what is your opinion on using giveaways to help drive channel growth? I think generally speaking, it's kind of a bad idea. If you want to do a giveaway to thank your viewers, that's one thing. If you're trying to do it to grow your channel, it's a bad thing, because what tends to happen is people who don't really care about your content will subscribe just to participate in the giveaway, and a lot of them will bail or never watch your channel once the giveaway is done. So I think giveaways can be a cool way to say thank you to the community that you already have, but I wouldn't recommend them as a way to grow your community. I mean, think of some of the channels that have done free giveaways, and then think about how many of them you have joined to do the giveaway and then continue to watch the channel. You know, if your motivation is the giveaway, then you really don't care what their channel is about. You're just trying to qualify for the giveaway. So definitely how I would view those. Definitely wouldn't go... And now I have Sweet Kitty saying, rest in peace to earbud users. I don't know if that was in relation to the logo thing or if now my audio is too high, because I have to keep scrolling up, so I'm kind of lost in the timeline of where everybody's at here. What about sub count contests, good or bad? I don't know what a sub count contest is. You'd have to explain that to me. Foulfish, hello to you. Would have been here sooner, but we had a recording session for our 7 Days to Die series. Cool. Comic Builder. Did he just start the stream? Doug Houston. No, started a little while ago. They just want your sub a number. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, good question. Your opinion on the latest update Creator Insider gave a couple hours ago. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Creator Insider YouTube channel, it's actually run by developers at YouTube. So they provide some good insight into some of the stuff that they're working on. Today they released a video indicating that they're going to be giving us some new metrics and analytics, including impressions. So they're going to show us the total number of times that our videos received an impression on a page, which basically means they appeared on a page while somebody was viewing YouTube. They're also going to give us the impression click-through rate, which is the percentage of time based on those impressions that somebody actually clicked on one of our thumbnails to view videos. They also mentioned... Oh, they were doing those. They were going to give us unique viewers. So show you exactly how many unique viewers are checking out your channel, which I thought was really cool. And then they had some other things basically like a graphical presentation of a funnel of impressions to the click-through rate to the generated watch time that it resulted in. So definitely going to be some more visibility into how much YouTube is displaying our content, and maybe give us some insight into how good of a job we're doing by taking advantage of all of those impressions. It's kind of something I think we're going to have to watch over time to kind of get a sense of exactly how to use it. I think obviously as your channel grows, your impressions are going to increase, and you're going to see examples of maybe when YouTube is promoting you more than normal. But yeah, I'm all about as many analytics available as possible to see what we can do with them and how we can use them to help our channels grow. It'll be cool to see them in action. They did mention that the funnel and stuff was in the beta version of the YouTube Studio, but I couldn't find it, so I don't know if it's actually been released yet. When I go into the studio, it says my last update was like on the 22nd, so that was 6 days ago. So I don't know if they have a pending update that's coming out, but hopefully we'll see some of that stuff soon, and we'll actually get to play with it and see how cool it is. Rodney B, what is one of your goals to grow your brand enough to leave your full-time job, or is it something you will continue to do regardless? So here's the deal. I happen to love my job, and so I'm not saying that I would never leave it, but I would probably continue. The point at which I would leave my career in order to do YouTube full time is if it was holding me back from doing what I wanted to do on YouTube, and there was more than enough money to do that. I would basically have to double, and just as a general kind of ideology for me, I would have to double my annual salary on YouTube from my current job before I decided to leave it, because I do enjoy what I do, and it is that additional security. But if I grew this channel to the point where that became possible, and it is certainly possible over time, I don't know what the time frame looks like, it's definitely something I would consider, and absolutely it's a goal. My goal is to grow this as large as it can be, and because there's always going to be new YouTubers, and they're always going to need some guidance, and some of them are going to go search out for it, and some of them are just going to kind of tread water and figure it out the hard way. But those who are trying to grow on the platform and kind of want a shortcut to learn from everybody else's mistakes so they don't have to make them themselves, it'll continue to be an opportunity, and I definitely think it'll be an area where I can continue to provide value. So definitely I will do everything I can to continue to develop the brand to the point where it can help more and more YouTubers. Let's see. Killer game, did the volume get lower? I think the volume just got higher. Now I'm trying to scroll down to catch up with everybody. This is great. You're supporting creators. I have been doing the same thing. Good to hear from James Cox. Sounds good. You're coming in very low, says Crafty Lady Lisa. That just sounds confusing. I don't know what that's in relation to. Volume is kind of low, 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 low. Here, let me make sure that this is properties. M4, we are there. That looks good. Hello, hello, hello. If I max that out, is that... All right. All right, so good. Okay, much better. I'm just catching up with your... That's the challenge of the delay. All right, volume is good here. That is better. Good volume, better. Awesome. Okay, so now it should be even better because I just cranked it up a little bit more. And I do want to catch up to Aquarium Sunshine's post. Much better. Below the video title displays. Then TubeBuddies, the number of viewers also switch. Below the video title displays CF Live, then TubeBuddy, the number, yeah, I mean the number of people watching now below that other stuff by Bob, that's just the the current people watching the live stream. So if people come and go, that number will fluctuate. I thought you made reference to 200. I don't think that got as high as 200. That would be surprising, but it does absolutely fluctuate based on people coming in and out of the live stream. All right. Scrolling. Much better on volume. Good here. Some people say crazy things. Suffer something. Get you banned. I like this live stream. 59 watching. I'm impressed. Thank you. It's always good to have a nice crowd in here. Double 3Y. Can you explain why view time is more important than views itself? The simple answer to that is because that's what YouTube cares about. But watch time is YouTube's approach is the more you keep somebody on the platform, the more opportunities they have to make money. So they don't want to create a situation where somebody is making videos that are clickbait, which basically, whether they're showing a picture of, something inappropriate or misleading to get people to click on the video just to get a view. And then ditching it when they realize that they were lied to with the title or the thumbnail. So by measuring it based on view time, you're basically ensuring that you're not only providing quality in your videos, but you're not misleading people with your title and your thumbnail. And that's what you would get if you lied to them and created some kind of shocking thumbnail, and then they went to the video and it had nothing to do with that thumbnail. They'd bail early and you wouldn't get a lot of watch time, but you'd get a view. So that's why YouTube focuses on people who are actually making legitimate content that people want to watch and continue to watch and stay on YouTube longer, because the longer you're here, again, the longer everybody has the opportunity to make money. C4 Defense, whatever channel he was just talking about. Not sure what that was. And yeah, Rodney B. Hunt. So people who use clickbait will not continue to rank. Absolutely. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, thank you for the many answers you already gave me. Hope I set a bit of a trend by giving the super chat. Thank you very much to Aquarium Sunshine's Valley. I appreciate the super chat. It is always appreciated, and we are working on heading to VidSummit here in October. So super chat definitely helps support the channel and gets us a little bit closer to making that trip. It'll probably cost somewhere in the range of about $1,500 to $2,000 when it's all said and done. So it's going to be a pricey trip, but it is something that adds a lot of value and gives a lot of information from some leading industry experts that I get to come back and share with all you guys to help all our channels grow. So that is the one conference that I do want to commit to going to every year, because it's all about the business of YouTube and not like VidCon, which is like a meet your favorite YouTuber kind of thing. VidSummit is actually all focused on how to grow your channel or how to develop the business side of being a creator. So super powerful stuff, and that is a big goal for us here in 2018. Lady to Winner, oh crap, my favorite show is on. I need to run. Nice to see you all. What do you mean? My live streams aren't your favorite show? Have a good night, Lady to Winner. Corbin Connection Comedy. I've been trying to leave mine. Been waiting table for a long time now. Yeah, I mean, definitely take some patience on YouTube, but you can definitely build something significant. Crispy Crazy Card, I know you can do it, Dan. You have great advice and information. I appreciate that. I mean, just to give, so that's the other thing. The explosive growth that this channel saw, it wasn't just the financial side of that with ad revenue and other opportunities. That also tends to grow when your channel grows. So again, it can be kind of a delayed reward, but think of all of the effort that you're putting in ahead of time as that groundwork, that foundation to build, you know, a financial backing that will actually support your creativity and your channel and maybe help you one day have it as your primary source of income and your living. Ronnie B. Hunt, you're well on your way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Still got a long way to go. Still a teeny tiny fish in the ocean, but we're going to do everything we can to keep growing. Volume is fine. Sounds good to me. Good. Volume seems fine. Doubly says he's reading his responses to when he asked earlier. Yeah, it's trying to keep on the current side of this chat is a bit of a challenge the way it works now. Definitely need to make a list of suggestions and send them over to YouTube, because there has got to be a better way to be able to manage this. I'm starting onto YouTube and just made my first video yesterday. Now I have to figure out how to edit it and where to go from there. I think this is going to be a wild ride, says Patty Franklin Mintz. Absolutely, depending on how you recorded your video, there's absolutely applications you can use on your iPhone or your Android to edit your first video. I did the first 100 videos on this channel on my iPhone. I didn't edit them all on my iPhone, but I recorded them all there. I would probably say there was a good 10-15 videos on the channel that I actually did edit in iMovie right on the phone and uploaded them from there as well. And I did a number of videos for The Average Dan, which is my other channel, in that same manner. So there's definitely a lot of stuff, or a lot of options out there for editing your videos. There's definitely some free options, and then, you know, as you continue to grow, you find other opportunities in some of the paid editing software. So this year I committed to transitioning from what I was using to Premiere Pro, and I'm to the point now where I'm at least comfortable in Premiere Pro to get a video out, but there's just so many bells and whistles that I don't know how to use yet that I will continue to try to develop my skills on. Even though YouTube tells me I'm too small for sponsorships, can I do them privately and just mention? I think so. Dia Fidelia, the sponsorships that are mentioned in your settings on YouTube is not your permission to have an outside sponsor your videos. Sponsorships, I believe, in that reference is the sponsorship opportunity that exists for gaming channels. You can definitely do sponsorships outside of you can get outside people to sponsor your channel, absolutely, and YouTube is okay with that. MTG Unpacked, anyone use Vegas Movie Studio? I definitely know people who use it. I actually don't. Shemer Carr, give me a shout out. Consider yourself shouted out for whatever good that does you. JD Archer, I use my iPhone. The quality is quite good. I like to get a good camera though. Yeah, I mean, and I eventually upgraded. I bought a Canon T7i, and they did a video creator kit, which came with the Rode mic and everything. I bought that just after Christmas. I basically had everybody for Christmas give me Amazon gift cards so I could get that camera upgrade. And I moved on from there and bought some other equipment along the way. But it's definitely not necessary. It's just one of those things. Some people who have hobbies like to put a little bit of money into their hobbies, and that's kind of where I got into with that on the whole equipment thing. But definitely, if you're interested in any of the equipment that I use to make the videos on this channel, I'll throw a link in the live chat. That is my Amazon influencer page, where I've tried to list, I think, everything that I use on this channel to make my videos. So you can definitely check that out if you are curious. Rodney B. Hunt, Premiere Pro, absolutely. How is it that every big YouTuber can run commercials even if they cuss constantly? I would like to know that also. I don't necessarily think that swearing is deemed as advertiser or not advertiser friendly. I mean, I certainly know a number of different channels that have language like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of where YouTube draws the line and what kind of advertisers they are able to line up for certain creators. All I would probably say on that side is don't spend too much of your time worrying about what other people get away with, only because it doesn't really benefit your channel. Knowing the answer to that question isn't really going to help your channel at all, and especially trying to compare your experience to the experience of large YouTubers is just going to be fruitless, because you're not really in the same ballpark as the bigger channels. The rules are definitely kind of different in terms of how YouTube views the channels. Not so much that they give them preferential treatment, but the channels just perform much differently. And the things that big channels have to do to get views versus small channels are completely different. And I just think from a growth perspective, you're much better off focusing on those things that help your channel grow, rather than why PewDiePie can drop an F-bomb and still get ads. At the end of the day, it doesn't really help you. Harley Peebley says, once you have Premiere Pro down, next comes After Effects. You know what? I actually have the Adobe, because my daughter she got Photoshop for her birthday, and I ended up buying the entire Adobe suite. So I actually have After Effects. I have no idea how it works or how to use it. At some point I'll figure that out, but I'm in such the baby stages of using Premiere Pro that it might be some time before I figure out the whole After Effect thing. It totally threw me off when it seemed to be, when I always heard people talk about it, I thought it was just like a plug-in or a pack or something that you installed in Premiere Pro, but it's like its own little beast. And yeah, I got a little ways to go before I figure out how all that works. Carbon connection, I use the Canon G7X. It makes the glare on my head really stand out. Well, that's fantastic. You know what the trick to that is? Wear a hat. Origin, I would be posting videos way before getting 100 videos. Oh, yeah, you definitely don't want to make 100 videos before you start posting. That would be crazy. Do you think uploading 100 really good videos that you spent a lot of time on, that you may think people would like to watch, that you created, that you may have spent months on? No, I definitely would not upload all those videos at once. I would figure out what your schedule is going to be, and then I would upload them accordingly. You definitely, and I wouldn't, even if you come up with the idea where you're going to post a couple of them a week, I definitely wouldn't upload them all at once. I would kind of maybe upload a week's worth and release them on a weekly schedule, but no, I wouldn't upload them all at once. If you wanted to do like a push from the beginning, maybe you could do, like a week or two in a row where you posted something every day as kind of like the little burst or your little launch for your channel. That's not necessarily a bad idea, but I wouldn't do all 100 in a row unless you plan on doing daily videos after those 100 videos are exhausted. But if you plan on doing daily, then I guess, but I wouldn't wait to create 100 videos, I think, as somebody already said in the thing, before you start uploading them. Doug, I think it was. I was thinking of getting a Canon G7X. I didn't think the G7X was Canon. Oh, maybe. Is a good free video editing software. Shotcut. Killer game. My name rules that out, perhaps just a little bit. I use a Canon HF G30 camcorder for my Magic Pack opening videos. Focus was much better than my camera, although the iPhone is pretty good too. All right. Rodney, try templates for After Effects. You know, I had somebody introduced me to a website that is filled with After Effects templates. I forgot what it was, and I forgot who shared it with me, but it was a pretty, they had like a handful of free stuff and then stuff you could buy, but it looked pretty darn sweet. But even that definitely was going to take a little bit of learning to figure out exactly how that worked. Any advice on how making primarily tutorials can switch to more subscribable content in order to get our revenue back? I have watch hours, but only 75 subscribers. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I was making like $600 a year off of programming tutorials. Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat with the average Dan, which is my other channel, which is about RV camping, and I did like repair videos and outdoors and all that other stuff. And my personal approach to that going forward is to do more, do a call to action in the videos, be a little more proactive in the process of actually asking for subscribers and trying to build. So basically what I did is I went back, I looked at my content, and because I had a bunch of camper remodel videos on there. I had some camping related videos. I had some auto repair vehicles, and I went through my subscriber report in my analytics to see where the most subscribers had come from. And what I learned was that the majority of my subscribers were coming from the camper remodel and camper related content. So I decided to rebrand the channel, or kind of focus in the branding and focus it in on RV camping, because I'd had previous success in the camping niche. That's where a lot of my current subscribers had come from, even though it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a ton of subscribers. Plus my family had just purchased the next generation of camper for our family, and I thought it was a good opportunity to focus the content on the audience that had showed up for those other camping related videos. So I think on any channel you can do that, where you try to see what's been successful so far, or what's been the most successful at bringing in the audience, and then decide whether you want to continue to make content focused on that topic. If you do, then good, focus on that content, try to stay as focused as possible on it, and then do things like creating a call to action on the front end of your videos, or early in your videos after you've hooked your audience on whatever it is that you're going to share, and make sure you're asking them to subscribe to the channel, you know, after providing the value that that they're expecting, and try to do it earlier in your videos, because people aren't really getting to the end of a lot of your videos. YouTube algo would punish you for uploading all 100 at once. Yeah, I don't know what you mean at once, whether you mean one a day or all on the same day, which I don't think you could even accomplish if you tried. One stop comic spot. I don't have a schedule. Is that a problem? If anybody's noticed on this channel, I don't really have a schedule either. The only thing that I have scheduled specifically here on the channel are the live streams, and even those I haven't really been able to do every Wednesday. So not having a schedule is not a deal breaker, but as you continue to grow and get bigger, you do tend to develop a audience who expects content from you at a certain time. So as you get bigger, I think a schedule becomes more valuable and relevant. The Akbas family, where did it go? Yeah, Black Artist. I'm not sure if you saw my last message. Sometimes I feel like giving up because I have YouTube and other accounts, but not sure what to do with them. I'm trying to learn some of the fundamentals, which is hard. I would say so for one, I wouldn't force yourself to do a YouTube channel just because everybody else is doing them or you think you need to. What I would do is try to determine whether there's something that you're passionate enough about or interested enough about to commit to that long-term goal of making videos, YouTube isn't easy. It can be fun and enjoyable, but it's not easy. There's a lot of hard work to grow a channel, you know, and there's going to be times when you may not want to make content, but you really should. And, you know, there is that struggle there to deal with. But at the end of the day, you don't want YouTube to become your burden. But if you can find something that you really enjoy making content about, then absolutely do your channel and work on improving. Don't worry on making perfect content. That's not important. The most important thing is that you just start uploading your videos. But if that's something that you would find enjoyable, then absolutely go for it. But if you're dreading the idea or you don't know what to do on the platform, take some time and think about it. YouTube isn't going anywhere. You're not going to miss some grand opportunity. It's not like this is the sweet spot. But, you know, you definitely don't want to make YouTube this, you know, this anchor around you that you can't enjoy. So, but think about it. If there's something that you want to make content about, that you're passionate about, that you think you would enjoy, then definitely go that route and pick that topic and start a channel on it, or continue along on the channel that you have. All right. Trying to scroll here. Crispy Crazy Card, it's a cool pillow. Thank you. Oh, and there was another question from a family, and started with an A, and let me see if I can find it, because I started to read it. Oh, the Akbaz family, can you explain your YouTube live setup? All right, so real quick, my YouTube live setup is a C920 camera. They're about $50 on Amazon right now. There's a link in the description below. That is plugged into my PC, which happens to be a Dell XPS that I recently upgraded the snot out of. Bought a brand new machine here in the last 6 months. That is fed into software called OBS, obsstudio.com. You can go there and download the software. That interacts with YouTube and the live stream interface. You basically copy a stream key from YouTube into OBS, and that creates the connection that allows you to stream whatever it is you set up in OBS to your account. Now, if you go and check out my videos on OBS, you can just do a search on my channel for OBS. There's a video out there on how to install and set up OBS. There's a video on how to do your first live stream, and a video on how to set up the scenes. But everything's in OBS. All the graphics that you see around me, I created in GIMP, which is a free software that you can download. Just search GIMP on Google. It's similar to Photoshop. And then you just put it all together on there and go to town. All right, hang on. Let me, so I have to go there. I want to scroll back because I see a super chat. Shannon Vlogs, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. For VidSummit, congrats on your recent growth. Thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, the growth has been awesome, and I can't wait to see where we are when VidSummit rolls around. It will be a really cool experience to go to VidSummit after experiencing this growth, because when I went to VidSummit last year, I think I had 420 subscribers when I went to VidSummit last year. And here comes Noisy Cat. She's making her way in. We'll see if she comes over here and interrupts the live stream. Oh, there she comes. So we may see a visit. Of course, I bought a, I replaced my office chair with a, it's like a drafting chair, so it's a lot taller. She can't quite get up here like she used to. And I really don't want her to try, because I think she'll use my leg as a scratching post to get up here. So it might be better if she just stays on the floor for now. All right, wanted to scroll back. I appreciate that super chat. And let's go back here, make sure I didn't miss any others. I have the same background. Dara Leaves has it too. Which background are you referring to? The graphic background or the brick wall background? I thought it was real brick wall. Nope, it's paneling from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. Doesn't asking for subs at the beginning and end of your video turn people off? There's some people who complain about that, but those people don't have any appreciation for what it takes to grow a channel, so I'm not really super concerned about those. If you have nothing better to do with your time than to complain because somebody asked you to subscribe to the channel that's providing you free content that you're watching and giving absolutely nothing back to, you know, I don't really have that much concern for you. People who understand that making the content on YouTube is actual work probably won't have any problem clicking the subscribe button and supporting the channel that they genuinely appreciate. So I would be unaffected by people who say, I can't even watch your video if you ask for a subscriber. Okay, well, don't watch my videos. I guess that's kind of the way it goes. It's really the least for somebody who's watching a video and getting value from somebody who put a lot of time and effort into the content, to say that they can't be bothered to click the subscribe button, that doesn't really seem like a fair trade. So I definitely, from an approach perspective on YouTube, I wouldn't concern myself with those types of people who are, you know, go out of their way to let you know that that's a turnoff for them. Doubly back to the view time question. What if the view time consistently stays low? Does that still qualify as clickbait even when it is supposed to be an actual 15-minute video? So the amount of view time doesn't determine whether something is clickbait. But if you essentially lie to somebody with the thumbnail and the title, you're going to end up with low view time because people don't want to watch the video because it doesn't match what they thought they were clicking on. If your view time is low, that means you need to consider, I mean, if your average view duration and your, you know, percentage watched remains low, then you may want to consider how to streamline your videos. If you're making a 15-minute video and people are only watching 2 minutes of it, you may want to think about paring that video down and finding ways to improve the engagement on your video, mixing up the way you're presenting content, and it's just not some monotone person talking to the camera for 15 minutes. You know, look for ways to kind of spice up your content or create a little more engaging interaction so people aren't compelled to click out of your video so quickly. Nines Catudio. Keep spreading the knowledge. You're awesome. Buy a treat for the cat on us. Hi, Paw. Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, for that, she's got to come up and say hello here. Let's see if I can grab her. Come here. All right. So you just got a super chat in your favor, so please don't scratch me. But there she is. Say hello to the camera. This is Mansion. When I had a shorter chair, she would run in here and just jump on my lap. She didn't really give a crap that I was doing a live stream. But now she can't, because of how close my chair is, to my desk, she can't just jump into my lap. But there, you got a super chat in your favor, Mansion. So you can say hello and stop leaving scars on my shoulder. Awesome. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Honest Finance just hit 450 subs this week. Awesome. Congratulations on that. Finance video actually being watched. That is fantastic. It's your time of channels that accelerated growth. It's your time, kind of, I don't know if it's supposed to say kind of channels that accelerated growth. Either way, awesome, fantastic for you, Honest Finance. That is great to hear. It's always good to hear when people are seeing success, and definitely let us know when you've been able to implement some of the things that I'm trying to share with you here on Creator Fundamentals and you notice the change in your channel, because if you are applying them over time, you will see improvement. And a lot of times it's night and day. I know it was for me when I started to learn these things and apply them to the average Dan. Definitely was able to see a lot more growth than I had, which is kind of what prompted me to start Creator Fundamentals. We can. I see Rodney B. Hunt responding to "We can do this." No, a real background, not a green screen. My background's a real. I don't know if you're talking about my background or not, but my background is real. This is actual. That's an actual. That's an actual, genuine fake brick wall right there. On his finances from, yep, my background is from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. Be patient, Kevin. What is Kevin asking for that I'm missing? Have you done the channel reviews yet? Can I get one? Usually do the channel reviews at the end of the live stream. If anybody who did super chat that wanted a live or a channel review needs to leave the live stream, definitely let me know before you leave and I will do your channel review. Otherwise, I will open the free channel reviews at the end, and I have kind of a creative way to select who gets the free channel reviews. We'll give that a try. See if I don't screw it up royally, but we'll try to see if we can do it. So that should be fun. She read an interview that happened with a YouTube dev that statistically viewers actually had no problem with calls to action. Yes, statistically speaking, calls to action, which is in your video saying, hey, if you'd like to receive more content like this, definitely subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon. That actually does convert more subscribers. So don't worry about the negative people who say, I can't watch videos who ask for subscribers. Statistically speaking, that gets you more conversions to subscribers. So that is the way to go. JD Archer, have a good night. Definitely spend some time with the kid. MTG, I would say not to bother with YouTube unless you're having fun. You definitely don't want it to be a job, because what would be the fun of having a job that you don't like that doesn't pay you money for a year? You know, that doesn't seem like fun at all. YouTube should definitely be fun. And not only is it fun, it's teaching you skills. I mean, the skills that I have now over the course of the past year in learning how to develop what it is I do here on YouTube are skills that I will continue to have, and skills that I didn't have before I started this venture. So, I mean, in that regard, there's all kinds of value. You're learning new cool stuff, and you just go from there. So. Scrolling. Restored Beauty. Hello from New York City. Well, hello from upstate New York. I'm just a few hours away from you there in New York City. I am a bit north of Albany, which I believe is about three hours from New York City. Origin. If I did a gaming video, I like Age of Empires, but there's not many people that like Age of Empires. Man, we used to play Age of Empires all the time. That was my favorite rage game. I always found a way to build my walls up against a forest and then have the enemy find their way in when I wasn't paying attention, because all my little villagers took down all my forest for wood. This is absolutely, if somebody was asking what I use, this is OBS. I'm streaming on OBS. So I think I just saw somebody ask, Desaway Online, why don't you use VidQ over TubeBuddy? I've always found TubeBuddy just more to my liking. And obviously now TubeBuddy is my sponsor, so I definitely am happy with TubeBuddy, but that sponsorship was actually born out of the relationship that I developed with TubeBuddy, simply because I like the product that they created. For those of you who are trying to get sponsors, that's definitely something that you should keep in mind. Try to develop relationships with brands that you would like to work with without going out and saying, hey, sponsor me. I never asked them to sponsor me, and an opportunity arose where we had the ability to, you know, come up with a relationship that hopefully benefits both of us. And it was a natural fit because I appreciated what they do. They acknowledged what I was doing. And there was a mutual way that we could benefit each other. So I don't actually, I believe right now I have VidQ installed, but I honestly don't use any of its features. I just use the, I just use TubeBuddy. And I did see MTG Unpack Super Chat, and I will make sure I get to that. I did not miss you. I'm just trying to work through the chat in order, and then we'll get there. Armstrong, Baga, yeah, I'm not sure what that said. Bagamus Pad, are you gonna make video about giveaways when you have bigger views? Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really big on doing giveaways on channels as a way to grow your channel. So if that's what you're looking for, I probably won't do any videos on growing your channel with giveaways. Giveaways are a good way to kind of say thank you to the people who do view your channel, but you got to be careful with them because otherwise, if you advertise them, you end up with a bunch of people who just join your channel or follow you for the views or for the giveaways, and then they're not engaging with your content. So it's not really a good fit in that regard. All right, old junk, throw my name in for the free channel review. So what we'll do when I open it to the free channel reviews, I will make an announcement at that time. I'll ask anybody who wants one to do something specific in the chat, and then we'll pick some. And the way I'm going to do it, and I might do it with the help of Doug, is randomly pick five or so channels to do a review on. And then I have a way to pick them and see how many we actually get through. It all depends on timing and how deep we go with the people who have requested channel reviews through Super Chat. Nines, Studio, Creative Fun. Oh my God, could you please? I would really, really appreciate it. I really could use your opinion. I learn as I go. Lots of work. Please review. Okay. So that's another looking for a channel review. Again, when we're ready to do that, we'll come to that and we'll get something going there. I'm going to make a video about giveaway. Just covered that. I know Doug Houston, very intriguing. I missed what was very intriguing. Somebody will have to tell me. Fantastic Joe, how do you get your chat to show up how you have it? So, that's kind of a long, drawn out thing. So, it's actually a, hang on here, chat. So it's actually a, what are they called here? My brain is not functioning. So it's, where is it? So it's actually a browser source that goes to a link to the chat. And it was actually, there's actually code to kind of drop out the normal format and get it formatted to look a little bit better. I haven't actually tweaked it yet. I think it was Nick Nimmin who shared the original code that does some of that editing. So I think this is the code that he shared. I don't think I made any major tweaks to it. So it just makes it look a lot more easier to read and more colorful and interesting than the original. All right, MTG Unpacked. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the great content. Lots of good tips. I appreciate it. Super chat's very helpful for the channel, and I thank you very much for contributing. Secret squirrel stuff. Scrolling. All right, and I miss Random Randy's ramblings. I miss living in New York. From Thousand Islands, currently in Washington State. Wow, that's a big hike from New York to Washington. Yeah, I use you saying if you want to enjoy this for you, please do consider subscribing. Yep. And I'm actually somebody who I don't actually do, in my earlier videos, I did my call to action for subscribing earlier. Now I tend to do it towards the end of the content. But when you're trying to grow your subscriber count in the beginning, it's definitely good to remind people to do it earlier on. I definitely need speaking experience. I'm recovering from agoraphobia, and I am now able to go out, but public speaking makes me panic. You know, a lot of people on YouTube actually suffer from anxiety and social anxiety, and YouTube is kind of a way that they're able to get past that when making videos, because they're not in front of an audience, but they get to reach an audience. So it's definitely a good place to kind of work on that and develop that. Like, I'm much more comfortable being in front of a camera and talking to you guys or doing videos, but I haven't really done any public speaking since I started this YouTube channel, so it'll be easy or interesting to see how that translates into, you know, your presentation and your presence in front of a live audience. Next level, Schenectady, Glens Falls, Colony, Troy. I live somewhere in the greater area that, well, I mean, Albany to Glens Falls and those other places kind of fall in the middle. But I'm somewhere in there somewhere. Don't want to get too specific. I don't need anybody showing up on my front lawn. Mackley, how do I go about getting more views in a live stream? I have done a few now and can't manage to get more than one viewer. That's all about repetition, and the thing to keep in mind when you do a live stream is try to plan your content in such a way that it doesn't matter if anybody shows up. That was something that I was kind of self-conscious about when I started doing live streams on The Average Dan, and one of the things I learned to do to compensate for that is to actually come up with a video topic before I did the live stream. That way I would start the live stream and cover the topic whether anybody showed up or not, so you weren't in kind of that awkward silence where you're trying to interact with people that aren't there. So in that regard, I would simply plan out a topic, come up with some bullet points, cover your video in its entirety, and then if people show up, then you can interact with them after you cover the topic. If nobody shows up after the video becomes available on YouTube, you can go in to edit that video and trim off everything in the live stream after you finish the content, and then you have a video that people can watch on your channel. Oh, I know one of the additions that YouTube made to live streaming is they recently made it so, and I don't know if there was a release date or whether it's effective with this live stream. We'll have to see. I didn't want to change the way I do things because I wanted to see exactly how they implement it, but is the idea that they're going to be providing a live chat replay along with the live stream. So when you watch a replay of a live stream, the chat will exist there as well. So you can see exactly what those conversations are. It was something that YouTube hasn't done up until now, but that may lead to the, you know, the need for all this stuff over here to go away if the replay is going to be outside of the chat. So that could be cool. I'm trying to come situations. All right, honest finance. I enjoy public speaking. I have no idea why. Maybe because you can influence others. I mean, in the right crowd, I don't mind speaking to people, and I enjoy debate. A little challenging to have debate these days because everybody gets super offended about everything all the time. But you know, the ability to have a debate with somebody and argue your point of view in a constructive way is something that I really enjoy. And always willing to do with somebody. So in that regard, I don't have a problem with having the conversation in public. But, you know, certainly when I was in high school and college, public speaking was not my favorite. Origin, we need more hand puppet TV shows. Live chat replay would be fantastic. Yeah, and I don't know if it was something they announced that was available right away. I didn't check into that yet, but unfortunately I was spending all my free time this past week dealing with some issues. We bought a new vehicle and had a couple things we wanted to bring to the attention of the dealer, so. Honest Finance, how do you utilize Super Chat? Utilize it in terms of how do you activate it on your channel. It's something that becomes available once you have 1,000 subscribers. And in retracted message. Okay. So yeah, for the channel who's doing it, once you get 1,000 subscribers, it's available to you. If you're watching somebody on live stream, you actually use Super Chat by clicking on the little square below the chat. If you're on a desktop version, it's a little square with a $ next to the happy face below where it says say something. If you're on mobile, the mobile app doesn't show Super Chat, but if you go to the live stream through a browser, then you'll have the Super Chat and you can actually do it that way. One of the things that I did when I was growing my channels is try to interact in live streams and use Super Chat as kind of a way to get attention. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Every once in a while, like I remember one live stream I did in the way beginning. I don't know who it was, Roberto Blake or somebody, or video creators. I'm not sure who it was, but I gained multiple subs just by being visible in the chat. So, all right, let's see here. Barnyard Chicken. I had a giveaway, and the winner no longer is on YouTube, and her comment was gone. Couldn't find anyone. Couldn't find her anywhere. 3 months later, I got a card in the mail. It said, "I was your winner. Here's my address." Yeah, that's rough. Especially if you did it for the purpose of trying to gain, help build your audience. Mackley, you may or may not have may seen a YouTuber named Wiznite. He has a thing where if somebody subscribes to his channel during a live stream, he posts it in the chat automatically. So I have here, let me show you an example. See if I can do this here. Well, probably can't do it while we're live, but StreamLabs, which does a lot of stuff more focused towards gamers, but you can use it on a live stream. It has these little widget kind of things that you can put in OBS that are little alerts that pop up. I actually have, if you go back and look through some of my live streams, you might see them, where it's like a little alert that comes up. It plays music. It displays the name of the person who subscribed and displays it on your channel. At some point, I may go back in to implement those, but they come with some kind of cheesy looking default graphics, so I'd have to do some significant work to make them tie in for kind of the style that I'm going for on the live stream. But yeah, StreamLabs is definitely, streamlabs.com is definitely a way you can get that kind of animation and stuff to automatically show up in your live streams. MTG Unpacked, is Super Chat available for 1K subs, or do you need 4,000 hours viewed and channel approved? So Super Chat is only available to people who are in the YouTube Partner Program. And the 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours are now the requirement to be in the YouTube Partner Program. So if you're not monetized, you can't have Super Chat. So yes, technically to get Super Chat now, you need that 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours because it's only available to people who are in the YouTube Partner Program. I have done the same time tonight in your stream. You need to be monetized to have Super Chat viable on your stream. They just recently rolled Super Chat out in the Oh, nice! I did not know that. There's a new new dollar I wouldn't let me pick an extra amount other than X dot. Oh, good to know. Thanks for sharing that with me. I have not seen that yet. Yeah, because I needed when I was in other people's live streams doing, trying to contribute to their effort. It took me a while to figure out how to get that done on mobile, but I finally figured out to do it on a browser. But it's awesome to know that they actually have implemented that in the iOS app. So I'm not going to lose partnership with Google, but I don't want to. I won't be able to get monetization if I'm too low. Should I be notified when somebody subs to my channel every time? Because I hardly ever do. If somebody is, I believe the way it works is if somebody has that set to private on their channel, then you don't receive a notification, because I'm definitely not getting a notification for everybody who subscribes to my channel. But I do get a lot of them. So I think it has to do with the settings of the person who subscribes. Couponer from Brooklyn, you've been so helpful. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the stream. I appreciate you hanging out. Let's see. I have been with Google AdSense for over 10 years. Am I going to lose that because my YouTube channel, or is it separate? So your AdSense is basically the way you get paid through your YouTube channel, but losing monetization on YouTube does not affect your AdSense channel doesn't go, or your AdSense account doesn't go away. It will still be there with whatever balance you have in it. And then obviously once you start adding money to it and you get it over that threshold of $100 or the minimum threshold, then you'll get a payout. Random Randy's Ramblings. I gained 285 subs in a month and was 13 over the 1K before the deadline. My watch hours were fine, but I had to bust it again. I had to bust it to gain the subs. Awesome, man. That's yeah. I mean, a lot of people stepped up to the plate and found a way to make it happen. So congrats to you for getting in the threshold. I know, Dan, is it possible? Can you make a video on how are going to be successful if your contents are all about how-tos? So, I mean, if you consider this channel, all my content is essentially how-tos and information related to that. So, yeah, well, the way that I think that video really needs to be made is how to develop a community around how-to content, because my other channel, which is The Average Dan, kind of suffers from that. It does a lot of how-to content, gets good viewership, but doesn't have a huge subscriber base. So yeah, that might be a good video to do, to kind of give some insight into how-to channels can actually build a community. And I actually know a couple channels who've done it really well, so maybe I'll reach out to them and try to get them involved. Is there a way to grab a channel name on here without spelling them out? Some of these names are ginormous. So if you're in chat and you click on the 3 dots next to somebody's comment, you can then click on go to channel to get it that way. If you're trying to go to somebody's channel, that's how I would do it. Next level, when people send super chats, where does the money go? So the money is recorded in your account the same way ad revenue would be, but it's obviously counted as super chat. YouTube takes a cut of that, and then it becomes listed in your revenue section like everything else. All that money gets fed to your AdSense account, and then when you reach your threshold, so basically, if at the end of January your balance exceeds $100, I think then you would see that payment. I think like on February 20th or so. So that's basically how that whole process works. But yeah, it comes in, it gets its own line item, if you will, that explains how much, what you earn on Super Chat. When you're actually looking at your overview page, it lists all the super chat as unknown video for some reason. Why they can't fix that, I don't know, but that's how it gets displayed. And then, you know, it just flows through like ad revenue does. Filefish said, Social Blade says I'll have 1,000 subscribers in 5 years. The biggest thing to understand about YouTube is that growth is exponential. And all Social Blade is doing is calculating where you'll be based on your current pace. Well, as you continue to grow your channel and build it, your pace actually increases. So it's not like you're going to earn 1 subscriber a day for the next however many days to 5,000 days. As your channel grows, instead of getting 1 a day, you'll get 5 a day, and then over time you'll get 10 a day, and then 50 a day. On this channel, I went from getting 100 a month to over 100 a day for quite a period of time. So, you know, it's important to recognize that and not get discouraged by the estimate that Social Blade is giving you right when you start out. All right, so let's see here. So in terms of people who did super chats who actually requested a channel review, I have 2. If you did a super chat and didn't explicitly mention that you wanted a channel review in that super chat, definitely let me know in the comments now if you want me to take a look at your channel. I know at least one of the people who did that, I think, left the live stream, but I believe it was MTG Unpacked. I don't think asked for a channel review. And who was the one before that? Nines Cat Tudio with the super chat for Mansion, the cat. I want to say there was other Shannon Vlogs. So if any of you wanted a channel review, let me know. If you're good, that's fine as well. And then that'll let me know exactly how many channels we want to try to include. All right, so you do want a channel. So, all right, let's do this. Go to channel. And close that, and close that. Close that. And, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Get that back open. And then we'll. Perfect. And get to right there. All right, cool. All righty, good. All right, so Nines, Cat Tudio, we got you up, and then the other 2 I gotta find here. The first one was Dirty Lazy Keto with Yolanda. Are you? Let me know if you are still in the chat. If you could just leave a comment so I know you're still here. Then we can do your channel review. All right, thanks for letting me know, Shannon. I appreciate that. All right, so we have Dirty Lazy Keto with Yolanda, Mr. Z's reaction and reviews, and Nines Cat Tudio. And let's see, get this one open here. And then, okay, Mr. Z's. Let's see, Mr. Z's reaction and reviews. All right. Get that in position here. Looking good. All right. Do playlists for your uploaded videos. All right. All right, perfect. Okay. And let me make sure. All right. So the first channel we're going to be taking a look at here is Dirty Lazy Keto with Yolanda. All right, so let's take a look at this channel. The channel art has a very like blacklight poster kind of look to it. Getting healthy one day at a time. If I was going to make any note about that, it would be to try to resize your channel art so you're not cutting off the bottom of your letters, but otherwise I think you provide enough information to let people know what your channel is about. You are generally doing, you do have a general kind of theme going on your thumbnails. I'm just trying to see if the different colors are for different keto review, reflections. I might almost consider trying to make your thumbnails a little more consistent in terms of branding. I mean, you do have your logo down there, but maybe kind of color, like a consistent color scheme across them all, to kind of let people get used to what it is. You know, like maybe if they were all with this black and pink and green lettering or something to that effect. Because if you look hard enough, you can tell they're all related, but they don't really have that feel of being like one continuous kind of theme. And I don't know if you appear in your videos. If you do appear in your videos, it might be something to consider of having you on your thumbnails. You also want to be careful about certain color combinations. You want high contrast colors. And you also want to use font that is nice and easy to read when it's small. When you use font like this right here, it gets really hard to read. And, you know, parts of it just kind of fade out. And, you know, those two colors together are a little rough on the eyes. But the other thing that I would say is try to really minimize the amount of text you're putting on your thumbnails. The more text that you put, obviously the smaller it has to be to fit, and it just gets too wordy and too drawn out for people to really appreciate what's going on. You definitely don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to kind of recap the entire title on your thumbnail. You really want to get to the main core theme of the video and kind of try to present that in as few words as possible to capture people's attention and get them to read your title and click on the video and check it out. So if we go into the About section, follow me as I journey my way to a smaller, healthier me. Pretty straightforward there. Changes. All right. That gets the message across in your first sentence, which is good. So created playlists, the one thing you want to make sure you're doing, and let me double check on your main page if you're doing it. So what I prefer to do rather than a list of your created playlists is actually set up some horizontal playlists, get your playlist spread out. Like right now, really the only representation of okay, some of these are yours as well, but I would try to get as much of your content laid out on this channel as possible. So like you can do your uploads and whatnot here, but in your playlists, as you build out your playlist to at least 5 videos, then you want to get that playlist actually displayed on your home screen as a horizontal playlist to expose as much of your content to somebody that comes and visits your channel, so they can make a decision about whether they want to subscribe to your channel and see what you have coming out next. So what I would suggest is kind of try to get closer to your channel art theme, consistent across all of your thumbnails, to really kind of reinforce that theme. Get some descriptions on your playlists, expand your playlist, get your playlist displayed on your home page, and take it from there. All right. So this old junk, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Let me know in the comments if that is for a channel review. Oh yeah, there it is. Perfect. Awesome. So let me open your channel and we will take care of that one, move that one down here. The next channel that's coming up is Mr. Z's Reaction and Reviews. All right, so taking a look at this channel. Mr. Z's Reaction and Reviews. All right, so a couple things. So we look at this channel art. Obviously, it's good here. This is going to fit on the mobile devices. Reviews, Z's and McGee's reactions. I don't know if they're general reactions by this. What it is we're actually reviewing and reacting to. Watching YouTube videos for years, sometimes, but no one to share it with. Together, I ran into McGee. Together we watched. All right, so you're basically kind of doing the Mystery Science Theater approach. I get that. I would try to get to that point a little quicker in your description, and then go into kind of your backstory that tells everybody what you're doing and why you're doing it. Just because people have short attention spans and you really want to get your message across as quickly as possible to convince them to subscribe to your channel and stick around for more content. So here's the deal. When I go to this page, you got the nice orange background here, you got your black lettering and stuff. When I get to your uploads, you have thumbnails that are kind of all over the place. I see this icon down here that's on your thumbnails, but that icon doesn't exist in such a way that you can relate it to what's going on in your channel art, nor is it your channel icon. So there's kind of a disconnect from all those things. You really kind of want to find elements that you can tie in to all this. You know, one of the things that I mean, just as an example, since like these down here, your reactions, where you have both of your faces on most of these, and I don't know if there's occasions where only one of you is doing the reaction and not both of you, but instead of this kind of artistic thing that you have going here, I might consider actually putting, you know, your actual faces in your channel art so people know that it's you. But you also kind of want to tie your branding more together so people know thumbnails are, you know, are yours. So the way that I normally explain this, so say somebody is in this video, this dark humor reaction video, and they're watching it and they enjoy your content, and there's videos on the right hand side of the screen that are recommended to watch next. Well, based on these two styles, if you were watching this Try Not to Laugh Dark Humor and this No Food for You Brew Stew was listed in the recommended videos, it might be real easy to overlook the fact that these two videos are related to each other and from the same channel. So you really want to think about your branding as clearly identifying your content to people who are trying to find more of your content, and try to tie that into your thumbnails and your channel art and your icon. They all kind of work together. So I mean, like up here you have this big circle, which is cool, and then you pulled that into your icon. I'd be more likely to take this circle and put it on your thumbnails than this other icon that almost looks like it's a couple faces, but it's really too small to see. So definitely want to find a way to get all those more unified. And like I said, in your about section, get more to the point. And let's see, you definitely want to get detailed descriptions on each one of your playlists. And you also want to think about your playlists as things that can turn up in search results as well. So instead of just having reactions, try to consider using searchable keyword phrases for your actual playlist names as a way to get as a potential to get those to show up in search results. Mackley, hi Dan, please review my channel. Thank you very much for the super chat. Throw that in the mix as well. And let me just look real quick, see what I missed here. This old junk. Okay, we got that one. See what I missed after that real quick. Oh, somebody got deleted. Dirty Lazy Keto, thank you to you as well. Glad you found it helpful. Origin asks, why is vertical a bad idea with playlists? So, and some of it's personal preference, but here's why I prefer. So a horizontal playlist is going to show people two things about each video. It's going to show your thumbnail and it's going to show your title. So it's a very efficient use of the space that's provided. And those are the two things that control a click. So when somebody's scrolling on, the home screen on YouTube or wherever it is, it's the combination of your thumbnail that's going to capture their attention, and then it's going to work together with the title to determine whether somebody wants to actually explore the video. The vertical playlists and some of the other options that actually show the description of the video, I don't think are the best use of the space, because they kind of provide information that is, extra in the sense of trying to get people to look at your content. So for that reason, the horizontal playlist to me is concise and to the point. It displays the two most important factors that get somebody to click on one of your videos, which is your thumbnail and your title. And I just think it's having as many of those laid out on your channel page as possible gives you the most chances of actually converting a viewer or getting somebody who's visiting your YouTube channel to actually watch a video and hopefully lead from that video to subscribing to your channel. Yeah, top chat. I hate top chat's kind of annoying. All right. All right, so let me get through the super chat channel reviews, and then we'll look at some other channels as well. The next one up, I think my water's gone. All right, the next one up is Nine's Studio here. And let's see. All right. Three Kjpargeter Studio, 9ktudio.com. Junior Sky and 9. So we can see here that this channel is obviously about cats. So if you are interested in cats, I think you obviously capture the attention by very to the point. You're obviously showing the stars of the show here. Check your about section. Cat videos to help people learn something new and smile. 9 is a miracle traveler, Norwegian forest cat. He is a founder. He's the founder of this channel. Stray cat rescue mission, cool. Our cat mansion is also a rescue. Alrighty, so all right, so 9, okay. So this is an interesting one. So let's look at your actual videos here. So the thing that stands out is, I'm assuming that's 9. 9 sapphire. Plastic basket. I definitely try to get the cat in, or get 9 in the thumbnails as often as possible, which you're doing a good job here. I would probably try to, as often as possible, try to get a little bit closer than like this thumbnail is. Just because on these wider shots, it's a little bit harder to tell. It's a little harder to identify the brand or be able to tell that that is the same cat as like this, you know, on some of these other thumbnails. And you really want to drive home the idea that it's all the same brand in that regard. So whenever you have that opportunity to get kind of a close crop shot of what I'm assuming is 9 based on the icon and Kitty up here, as often as possible, you know, really try to get a close shot that identifies the cat, you know, the face as the brand of the channel. So, and one other thing you may consider is the idea of using some other color than white as part of your branding, only because white can kind of blend in with the rest of the page and not really be as impactful if you choose maybe some other colors here. And then I would try to stay consistent on the type of font that you're using and the way that you present it, with the idea of, again, trying to build that brand recognition. You know, think about it like, you know, Pepsi. If every can of Pepsi used a different font and a different color for the word Pepsi, it might be difficult to associate them all as being the same brand. And that, you know, while Pepsi may be a much larger brand, the concept is still the same. You know, you recognize the red from the Coca-Cola can, you recognize the font from the Coca-Cola can. Even if it didn't say Coca-Cola, you would know, you would recognize it as branding for that company. So that's kind of the idea that you're trying to recreate in the way that you put everything together for your YouTube channel. And then here on these, you want to make sure that you keep your font away from the lower right hand corner. of your thumbnails because this pesky little timestamp gets in the way of the font and then you can't read it. And then in the mobile version, the timestamp is even bigger and it takes up more space. So this thumbnail probably says 9's ga when you look at it on mobile. Another thing to keep in mind. And one of the ways that I try to cope with that is I always try to keep the text to the left side of the thumbnail and the face on the right side, so you don't run into the issue where the timestamp is overlapping your text. All right. And then goes to college, ton of videos there. All right, and then just check here how we're laying everything out. And yeah, playlists. I mean, if you really want to include this, I'd probably move this playlist thing down farther and try to get your actual playlist displayed more. All right. What are the... And again, looks like you kind of focused your channel after the fact, looking at some of your popular uploads that are listed down here. You know, car videos and teenager getting a car and those kind of things. So I think there's a lot of channels that have kind of some of that older content. So you definitely want to put the content that you're most interested in people seeing in the forefront, and maybe consider not displaying videos, you know, remove popular videos altogether, so people can simply be focused on the new content that you are providing. All right. All right, just checking the chat here real quick. OBS record my review to rewatch later in case I forget a detail. I mean, the channel review will also, the full live stream will also be available on my channel. I keep them all up. Random Randy's Ramblings, off to put the kids to bed. Good night. Appreciate you checking out the stream. Definitely not an expert on how to stream to YouTube with Xbox One. I'm sure there's some Google videos out there about it. Planet Funhouse. Hi, Dan. Glad I'm able to jump in and catch your live stream. Me too. Thanks for joining the stream. Hanging out. All right, so we did that one. The next one that's coming up is This Old Junk. Looks like an interesting one here. Let's get started on that. So obviously with the name This Old Junk and the image at the top, that definitely seems to be related to a junkyard or scrap vehicles. Let's see what the About section says. A few car enthusiasts acquire, restore, maintain, and occasionally drive junk cars and trucks. Channel has car build episodes, vlogs, how-to instructionals, and demos. You know, what I might consider is This Old Junk and this picture. Obviously, it gives a general idea of what the channel is about, but I would probably get some text in your channel art that explains exactly the type of videos that you're doing so people know what to expect from your channel. I would also, let's see, let's look at your actual videos, what you're uploading, and how they all look compared to each other. Click that button again because apparently I missed it. All right, so the thing that jumps out to me about these thumbnails, I do see that you're kind of using a general basic framing there, but there's nothing about the thumbnails that ties them all together, and they don't really relate to the channel art at all. So you really want to find a way to get your channel art and your icon and your thumbnails to all look kind of like one continuous theme. You know, whether that's by developing a logo or a specific color scheme that you repeat. Whenever possible, try to use the same font throughout your channel art and your thumbnails. And then I see you did a live stream here. I don't know if you normally appear in all your videos. If you do appear in your videos on a regular basis, then you may want to consider using your face in your thumbnails, in your channel art, in your icon, to kind of drive home that branding. Your face can absolutely be all the branding you need if you get people used to seeing you and associating your content with your face. So like I said, I see you have a consistent kind of type of style here, but there's nothing that really says that these videos in orange here are in any way related to the green videos or in any way related to these red videos. So I would try to find a way to get those all tied together so people know it's all your content. And then on your main channel page, if it loads, let's see, try this again. Stop that. Uploads this old junk. And again, on your playlists, you definitely want to get descriptions and, you know, describe in detail exactly what that particular playlist is all about. And I can definitely see down here how you did each one of your playlists with a particular color scheme, which is cool. But you still want to find a way to associate everything together under the single brand. All right. Let's just hop right in the, well, let's take a quick peek in chat. Ravage Line Productions, why can't you have one video in more than one playlist? You can have one video in more than one playlist unless it's a series playlist, and then you can't have the video in more than one series playlist, but you can definitely have a single video in multiple playlists. Anyone have any helpful hints on how to increase watch time using Channelytics? Not sure why Channelytics would be your method for increasing watch time, but I do have some videos on the channel about how to increase your watch time. And Nines, continue real quick. How is there a way to get rid of popular uploads? Yeah, you should be able to remove that section from your main page. If you're able to go, I know it's there somewhere. Don't know off the top of my head at the moment, but you can definitely remove it. At the very least, if you're having trouble removing it, you can move it to the bottom of the I can't remember. Yeah, I think it might have been already at the bottom, but definitely a way to remove it. right, scrolling. Thanks, Dan. C4 Defense. Hey, Dan. Hello to you, too. This whole junk concept was to make the car the star, not me. And you can definitely do that. I assume you mean the cars, because you seem to have a broad topic. If you want to do that, then come up with kind of an iconic logo or something related to a car, or something that encapsulates that whole, you know, junk or recovery kind of theme, and use that throughout your branding. Super Chat does not accept PayPal, says Killer Game. It does not, but you can... Did that actually work? You can use... Let's see if that posted. Yeah, that is... Oh, you might have to copy and paste that out of the chat because it didn't list it as a URL, but I listed my paypal.me/creatorfundamentals. That's the paypal.me link. That's always an option, if that's what you were trying to do. But yeah, the super chat doesn't do it. I think it just makes you put in a credit card. Let me see something here real quick and see if that is better if I do this. Just going to do a test real quick here and see if that makes it a URL or not. That one works. And for those of you who don't have Super Chat, doing things like the setting up the paypal.me page is another way that you can interact with your audience in terms of supporting your channel. So all kinds of different ways you can do it. Yep, Doug. But I was just responding to a question that I saw. At least I thought I saw something about, where was it? I thought it was him. Was it not him? Who was it? I can't find it specifically, but somebody was talking. Oh, yeah, Killer Game said Super Chat does not accept PayPal. That's who I was responding to. And then, so MTG Unpacked, I have you up there. We'll take a look at your channel here. Let's jump into that here real quick. MTG Unpacked, Unpacking Magic the Gathering. So the first thing that I see here might look a little wide, and I don't know, you'd be the best judge of this, but it kind of looks a little wide to appear properly in mobile. I don't know if you've checked out your channel in mobile, but you definitely want to make sure that the edge of your wording doesn't get cut off. Not positive, but it looks a little wide. So obviously Unpacking Magic the Gathering. So you pretty much have identified what your channel is all about, and pretty straightforward in that regard. Obviously, you have the Magic the Gathering card in the background. You have it in your icon, and you are carrying that consistent theme into your thumbnail. So one thing that I would say is I would try to find some consistency on some of these thumbnails. I mean, these ones that kind of match your channel art are cool, but like these with the boxes, you went real small on your icon to the point where nobody could tell that that matches that anyway. You probably have some room to make that a little bit bigger and make it a little more identifiable, but otherwise you definitely have a general good flow here of everything kind of being related to your icon and your channel art. Fun times unboxing packs of Magic the Gathering cards. Now see, that's super niche specific, and that's great. Obviously you're going to target a very specific audience who enjoys this type of thing and wants to see the unboxings. So in that regard, that's good, and you should be able to focus on that particular audience. We have popular uploads, created playlists. Let me look in here real quick. I want to see playlists. All right, so you have a ton. Well, those are liked videos. Snacks. I don't know if that's like a industry term, but definitely try to expand. All right, 211. All right, so let's look over here and see if we actually have. Yeah, so you definitely want to get those playlists expanded on your main channel page. Get descriptions for those playlists if you haven't, that kind of explain exactly what's going to be in them, and try to get them displayed here in those horizontal playlists, or whatever you prefer to do, but get them out there so people can actually see the type of content, and that gives you more options for people to go in and click and subscribe to your channel. All right, hop back in chat. All right. Kevin Boston, Creator Fundamentals, are you okay? Why? What happened to me? Mine checking out mine. That's sad. Can you check out my channel? I used to play Magic the Gathering for years. All right, so I am going to grab. Oh wait, hang on. We got one last one. I don't think I've done this one yet. And if I have, no, I don't think so. I'm trying to get my. All right. All right, so this channel is, I guess it's pronounced Mackley, youtube.com/Mackley. Not really sure by your channel art what your page is about. Also, it's a little bit redundant to share your youtube.com Mackley address, because obviously people are already at your channel when they're looking at your channel art. What I would say here in trying to grow your channel is to kind of trim down what you have going on over here. You're still trying to grow your channel. I see you have StreamLabs here for support, TUBEBUDDY, and Twitter. I would probably get rid of all those and just have people focus on this click to subscribe. It's good that you brought your logo from your channel art into your icon, and then we go down and we look at your videos. See what we're doing here. So the thing that jumps out, I'm having a hard time clicking on videos today. Why is that not going? Okay, better. All right, so we come down and we look at these thumbnails, and then we look at the channel art, and there's no relationship between the thumbnails and the channel art. So what you want to do is find a way to draw this logo or the channel art into your actual thumbnails so people know it's your content. If this is the icon that you're going with, then you could probably find a way to include just the Mackley part in your thumbnails in some fashion so people can actually tell it's your content. And then capturing many ridiculous moments while playing games with my mates. I'd probably expand your description a little bit and replace this youtube.com/Mackley with something that gives some insight into the actual type of content that you plan on sharing with people. And then as you develop content, make sure, you know, build out your playlists. And as you build out your playlist to 5 or more videos, get them displayed. Wow, I can click. All right. Get them displayed here on your channel page. Oh, hang on one second here. Alrighty, thank you for that, Doug. Next channel we're going to look at is Killer Game. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. So, taking a look at this channel, got a ton of stuff going on here in the channel art. Looks pretty cool, but there's a couple challenges here that I'm seeing. For one, it definitely looks too wide to display properly in mobile. I'm pretty sure that this list, the how-to guides and things, are going to get chopped off in the mobile view. All right, I want to see, and there's no real relationship between the channel art and the icon. There's no mention of the name up here, and there's nothing up here that really looks like the logo. You know, it kind of almost looks like a golf ball with red lettering here. And we look at your actual videos, and again, I don't see, you know, looking from one thumbnail to the next thumbnail, I can't tell how they're related to each other. And I really can't tell how they're related to the channel. So you definitely want to think about how you can bring these 3 elements, which is the channel art and your icon and your thumbnails, all together so they look like they were created on the same theme. And that people can recognize that these videos come from this channel. That's basically what you're trying to you're trying to present from the visual side of your branding. So in this case again, rather than starting with the backstory kind of stuff, you want to get straight to the point in your description. You know, start out with game glitches, tactic codes, mods, reviews, you know, as concise as possible as your first sentence, and then you can go into the backstory that explains who you are and what you do and why you're doing it. Up here in your channel art, you can edit that and add your channel links and add another subscribe option, because apparently a lot of people like to subscribe from that more so than the subscribe button. And then as you continue to develop, so what do we have here? Playlists. You have a number of different playlists that I would get spread out as horizontal playlists on your channel page. So like in these, you're not getting a whole lot of value from listing playlists like this, because you're showing a couple different titles, but you're not seeing the thumbnails. There's 85 videos in there, but you're really only giving them the very first thumbnail as a decision maker about whether or not they even want to click on that playlist to see what you have. So that's why I like the horizontal playlists. You get 5 videos from a playlist displayed to really give people a sense of what kind of content is there and whether they should click on something and watch it. All right, lips are getting dry here. Alrighty. Nine's good too. Okay, I officially declare the last hour and a half as the best time spent. Really enjoyed the company of your audience. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Be sure to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am going to do my best to have these live streams on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern as often as possible. Occasionally I do have to tweak them a little bit and move them around. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do. It's getting late. It's almost midnight where I am. I am going to... I need the names of five channels who want a free review. I want you to reply in the chat by tagging me and listing your channel name. And then I'm going to do something here once I start to see those who respond in that way. So the Agent Music, if that's you, you got to tag me and list your channel name if you're looking for a channel review. I'm going to take the first 5 who do that. And then we're going to play a little game. All right, well, let's... Alrighty. Almost there. All right. All right, so I actually ended up taking 6. And let's see here. Beep. All right. See how that looks. All right, so it's a little bit crunched, but I think it'll work here. All right. So I don't know how many channel reviews I'm going to do, but let's see who gets the next one. And that is going to be Ravaged Lands Production. And I keep catching my headphone jack, or my headphone wire in my seat. All right. So we're going to jump in and look at Ravaged Land Production. Let me grab that from the chat. So... All right. All right. So, oh, that's not the one I wanted. Why did it? Oh, hang on. That's the one I wanted. All right, better. So here we have Ravaged Lands. Ravaged Lands Production. So the first thing that jumps out with your channel art is I don't know what your channel's about. So that's something to consider. If we go in and look at about section, Ravage Land Production cares about gaming and laughter. We strive to do that. We are a small team. We're growing our video content. So yeah, I mean, I would think in your channel art, you know, if you did something like Ravage Lands combining gaming and laughter, or hilarious gaming, or whatever it is, something that actually tells people what Ravage Lands, or what the purpose of Ravage Lands is going to help you get people to pay attention and decide whether or not they want to see more of your content. Come on, hit pause. All right. So here we have this logo up here, Ravage Lands. We have an icon that appears to be a person. I'm assuming that's you. And then we go down and we look at your content. And we have and we run into a bit of a disconnect here. So I mean, some of the different ways that you represent your name, but I think that poses kind of a branding challenge. So looking at some of these older videos, you have the Ravage Lands, but you have some contrast issues where your logo kind of blends into the background, so that makes it tough. I see a lot of videos that seem to have your face in them. If that is a common theme, if your icon is representative of, you know, the fact that you're in your videos, then you should want to consider maybe including your face on the thumbnails or in your channel art. If you're not always in your videos, then you may want to kind of try to come up with some type of logo. It looks like you have some kind of artwork up here, and I don't know if that's something that can be shrunk down into some kind of icon that you can then include on your thumbnails to show people that these are all related. But I would try to find something that's a little more consistent in identifying all of your content as being related to the rest of it here on your channel. So like I said, some of your older stuff, you have Ravage Lands in a bunch of different ways. It's good that it's consistent in the font and everything that's being used, but it's kind of hard to see the way it's being implemented because the actual font itself is a little bit intricate, which makes it harder to read when it gets smaller, and also makes it harder to identify that all this stuff is kind of related to each other. So you can do, I mean, just an example of the way you can kind of address this problem is if you do kind of come up with an icon, you can use something like TUBEBUDDY's custom thumbnail editor, and then you can actually download the thumbnail that you have on it. You can upload it as a background to that thumbnail editor, and then you can upload like an icon and overlay that on your existing thumbnail and then save it as a new version. And that's kind of a way to get your improved branding on there without having to redo the entire thumbnail. But yeah, definitely the goal on your channel page is to communicate as quickly as possible what your channel's about and why people want to subscribe to it. That's what you're trying to achieve in at the least amount of time as possible. All right. Okay, give me just a moment. We got about 7 minutes to midnight, so I'll probably do a couple more. Let's see who we got next here. All right, and it just so happened to be the one who went in to replace the one I just did. Funny how that works. All right, so we are going to... All right, I'm going to do this one next, but give me a second here. I'll jump on that channel here in just a moment. I do want to check something, though. Make sure this thing's not going to rotate around to the same spot every time. All right, good. All right. So give me just a moment here. See what we're looking at. Get to the channel review page. What is that? Oh, that's not the right page. There we go. Clicked on the wrong one. All right, so here we go. So Tony Raw Gazer, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Judging by the background, I'm assuming it's a gaming channel. Definitely has a gaming kind of vibe to it. We have the TRG and the same kind of font, so that kind of works there. Lets people know that those two are related to each other. Let's take a look at the actual videos or the thumbnails here. Gang Beasts, funniest multiplayer. Okay. Definitely have the whole face thing going in the thumbnails, which is good. Seems to be something that you started this week, which is cool. That's going to help people identify your face with the content. Makes it a little more challenging with some of the distortions that you're using in terms of identifying your content. It makes it a little bit difficult to tell that they hear the same person. And you also, you have some where you're wearing glasses, some where you're not, some where you're wearing a hat, some that are not. And that can pose a little bit of a challenge in terms of helping people identify that it's actually you. Because I could see where people see like this image of you in the Battle Royale and not be able to tell that it's the same person here with your camo look. So just something to consider, with the idea that you're trying to easily convey to people that your content is all related and it's all from the same channel. Again, with your description, you got your welcome and introductions. Before you even get into all that, clearly state exactly what you're offering on your channel and why, like gaming tips, tricks, and whatever. Try to get straight to the point in terms of what you're offering to people. And with the idea that short attention span, get them just, the precise information they need to make the decision to subscribe to your channel. And then once you've kind of hooked them on that, then you can give them the backstory and explain that. But you don't want to waste any opportunity to tell them exactly why they should subscribe in the least amount of words as you can. So we have your playlists, like video, Call of Duty. Looks like you're doing it by games here, which is good. You just want to make sure that you couple things. Always try it when you're doing playlists. Try to extend the content out to at least 5 videos, so then you can actually get that content displayed on your main channel page. And again, my personal preference is the horizontal playlist, for the reason that you're getting 5 of your thumbnails and titles displayed for each of the playlists, which really give people a good chance to see what's going on there. And you do it on a single line, whereas the vertical is giving the thumbnail and the title and some of the description, and it takes up all this room. And people really don't need the description of the video, or shouldn't need the description of the video to make the decision about whether to click on it. So to me, it just becomes kind of excess, taking up excess space for no real reason, which is why it's my preference to get the horizontal thing and kind of stack as much content in there as you can, so people can kind of, quickly see something that catches their eye and, motivates them to want to come back and see more. But that would be the biggest thing that I see. Again, trying to get all that branding tied in so people are real clear that it's you for all those videos. All right, give me a moment. Oh, jump in the chat here real quick. All right, so I'm going to just blank out the one I just did. Actually, you know what? I will delete it off the wheel altogether. And it is officially midnight on my, I'm going to do one last free channel review. So hold all tickets. We're going to spin the wheel and see who the lucky last channel review is. Hang on, that did not save. Save. What happened there? Oh yeah, that did save. Okay. All right, so let's see who the last lucky channel review is for tonight. Logan Howe. Alrighty, righty. Now I gotta find. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, so let's take a look at this one. This is Logan Howe. A lot going on in this channel art. Encouraging people to do what they love. Seems like a cool, interesting thing. Not really sure exactly what it means just yet. But the one thing I will say is that the font is a bit hard to read. I would consider maybe trying to get some kind of drop shadow or outline on your text so it's easier to see exactly what it's saying. Also, it is too wide to display on mobile, so you're going to cut off your message here on both sides, which is going to kind of leave you with Gan How, and then all this text on the right hand side is going to get chopped right in half. So people aren't really going to be able to see what you're trying to say on your channel art on mobile, and people are very much mobile at this point, so you're probably, at least half your audience is probably checking out your stuff on mobile, so you definitely want to get that optimized for the mobile experience as well. Obviously I can tell that you're in your channel art, which is fine, and your icon. Then we go down and look at your thumbnails and see what's going on. I see your face, see your face, see your face. A random one here without your face. Again, you really want to try to incorporate a clear, cropped, tight shot of your face so people can see your eyes. YouTube has actually identified that thumbnails with faces on them are clicked much more often than videos that don't have them. And try to be consistent in the way in which that you present yourself in your thumbnails. So I can see in a lot of those, we can basically tell it's you. Some of these where you're real far away, it's kind of hard to do that. But anything you can do to kind of keep your face on your thumbnail nice and big and easy to see is going to help people identify your brand. So taking a look at your About section, let's see what your channel is about. And for some reason, I can't get anything to work on the first click. What's up, encouragers? I post vlogs, challenges, story time, and more. I'm here to grow a family so that we can have fun and encourage people that they can do anything. My goal is to spread positivity and encouragement throughout the world. Yeah, so I would probably, so like just as an example here, to try to get all this stuff to fit, I would probably lose this big subscribe here. I'd probably, just as an example, maybe take Logan Howe, move it to the top of this centered. I would try to get yourself centered on here and then take this encouraging people to do what they love. Might try to reword that in such a way that you kind of tell people what your content is actually about. Your about section kind of indicates that you may be trying to do a vlogging style channel. So maybe you're doing vlogging videos focused on positivity or something to that effect. You really kind of want to be able to communicate what people can expect to the best of your ability in terms of the type of content that you're going to be making and what it's going to be focused on. So I would think about that a little bit and how you can do that. I do see you have a bunch of different playlists here. See how you're utilizing those on your main page. I see created playlist, uploads 2018, which is, I assume is a playlist. But again, you know, when you look at, it's like which gives people the most information in the smallest amount of space. Popular uploads, you can see you have the 5 thumbnails side by side with titles that give people all that content to check out in that, you know, that narrow little window, versus these 4 that take up all this real estate, a bunch of text that just kind of clutters the space and kind of makes it, you know, information overload in terms of what people want to do. And again, short attention spans, we want them to make the decision quickly and decide to see more. And we do that by having that cohesive brand and giving them just the information they need to make that decision to watch your videos. All right. So I hope you guys found those channel reviews helpful. See how many people dove off the live stream and they didn't get the old wheel to turn out right. Not too bad in here. Jump in the chat real quick. Stream is great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everybody coming to join the live stream. Just a reminder, I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again for all of you that are still hanging out, that this video is sponsored by TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and there's a link in the description below. So definitely check that out. They just came out with an iOS app, so you can see all your analytics and actually make changes and do keyword research and everything right on your iPhone. And they're going to be coming out with the Android version in the next month or so. So if you haven't tried TUBEBUDDY, definitely get on board, download the free version of TUBEBUDDY and start using it to help manage your channel. Super powerful, super helpful, and really does make the process a whole lot easier. So all right, guys, so I appreciate you guys and coming to hang out tonight. Been another 3-hour stream. Hope you guys had a good time. I enjoyed hanging out with you, and we will definitely do this again next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. If you haven't checked out the recent videos on Creator Fundamentals, definitely do that. Put out a couple in the last couple days. And otherwise, we will call it a night for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to everybody next Wednesday. Otherwise, definitely head over to the Facebook group and make sure that you join over there so we can chat during the week if you have any questions about your channel or anything like that. And it's a great place to interact with other YouTubers who are trying to do the same thing you are, which is you know, grow their channels and learn the best practices here on YouTube. So that's it. That's all. Good night, everybody.